A lot has been going on with The Lord of the Rings Online since my break 3 weeks ago, but today's focus is going to be on Update 36.2. So Update 36.2 is technically releasing August 2nd, the day I'm recording this video, and it's a relatively minor patch, but one thing you all might notice is that LOTRO has actually been down basically all day. This is a 23-hour update. Yes, LOTRO is having a 23-hour maintenance for this update, and it will probably be finished around when this video, or perhaps a little bit after this video is actually released. So if you are wondering why LOTRO has been down all day and won't be up until 11 p.m. Eastern on August 2nd it is now, then that is why. At least I was able to have an 8-hour drive during this maintenance and just got home basically to record this video. You know, what better to do after an 8-hour drive? So why is a relatively minor update? I mean, it doesn't have many changes here. Why does it take 23 hours? Well, that is because we are getting a new LOTRO Store. That is going to be the big feature of this update and why the maintenance takes a very long time, because there's a lot going on with updating LOTRO Store. It's very important. They, of course, want to get it right so they can make money. So essentially with the LOTRO Store, all the stuff you can purchase and all your LOTRO points and all that sort of stuff will stay the same, but it's basically a new skin or new cosmetic to the store, and it will just look different. So with the game currently being inaccessible due to the maintenance, and the Update 37 beta, which I'll talk a little bit about later, actually not having the new store preview, I am unable to directly access that for this video, but I do believe I can pull some footage of that for the background here. Either way, I believe the big idea for updating the store was basically to modernize the experience. I honestly forget if they are transitioning to a different vendor from Xsolla, but again, what we're really getting is just a different look for the LOTRO store and mostly the same functionality. One interesting feature that they noted in the beta patch notes was with coupons, you can actually have some coupons that offer you a choice. So you can visit the tab here to see how that would work. So I'll be interested in exploring exactly what maybe coupons they would offer in the future that give you a choice of what you want to receive from it. And actually in the beta, they have this test coupon where you can get 15% off items for up to 10 items. So that's perhaps the type of thing they might offer in the future. I just thought this was kind of interesting, and I think that's the biggest thing of note, just skimming through the beta notes and from what I remember viewing, that is actually functionally perhaps a bit different than the last LOTRO store. That said, I am by no means an expert on the LOTRO store because I don't really visit it all too often. And back to the new store, I do want to talk a little bit about just the UI so we know a little bit what's going on here. You see it has a lot more of a modern experience, but I will say personally, at least when I tested this in beta, I did not like the functionality of the new store. It did look a little bit more sleek and more modern, but I just found it more annoying to navigate in a lot of space filled with the pictures or the icons of items, as you can see here in the cosmetics. But depending how you use the LOTRO store, I don't know, maybe you will like it, maybe you won't. I just personally didn't really like the experience in beta, but we'll see how that works when it comes out. If you're looking for more information on the LOTRO store, I might have a video dedicated to it when the full update comes out, but probably not, because I would imagine it's relatively straightforward. But they do have this article with a whole lot of information and just the different things you can do with the LOTRO store, as well as a fact from the transition from the old store to the new store. Again, all the items that you can purchase are the same, and your LOTRO points will not change at all with this update, which is very important. Again, otherwise, this update is relatively minor, but a couple interesting things to highlight. First is actually with the small, medium, and large. So all the essence and tracery carryalls, they can hold more of any given essence, tracery, enhancement rune. I know that was a very annoying point actually of the current carryalls, as there are limitations in that you didn't really see with the other ones for like task crafting items and the such. So this should be a nice quality of life boost with these carryalls and maybe make them more appealing option. Also, we are starting to see some support for the upcoming summer festival, or farmers fair as it is called now, that will start August 17th, and it does have some new rewards, including what they're calling the Blazing for Mammoth character cosmetics, which will include Steed and Warsteed cosmetics as well. That sounds interesting to me. They're also adding, of course, some housing items and a Firefox Bandit cosmetic pet. So some interesting stuff that will be new for the festival, and then otherwise there is the Reward Track Season 7 will start August 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So do remember to claim your rewards before that date. Another thing that I did want to point out in the list of bug fixes here that I talked about in the most recent LOTRO update video, I don't remember which one that was, but Well, I talked about the cosmetics, and it was the cosmetic update. And basically, with these cosmetics, you could actually already preview them in game in the collection panel, but some of the information there was inaccurate. So you'll want to double check the collection panel to actually see where these pets can be acquired and the sources. And I believe the relatively important issue there is that indeed some of these were only available from loot boxes, even though they said that they were available for figments, if I remember correctly, which of course is unfortunate if that is the case. But more excitingly, we actually do have update 37, which is open right now, but not the focus of this video. So just briefly, update 37 beta, I should say, is ongoing, and eventually I believe late August is the current target for the full release. So I'd expect mid to late August for that, and we'll probably see a couple more rounds of beta at least. So this update actually recorded video, but unfortunately can never get it uploaded for the first beta round. This one includes a lot of interesting things, including the stat squish, and there was a preview of a big stat revamp that I was not a fan of. In certain ways, I kind of got the idea of it, but we'll get to that when the time comes to get to that, because that is no longer a part of the beta, it looks like. But with the stat squish, basically numbers will go down. That does not include level numbers, but just all the damage, healing, etc. type values, and stat numbers will go down. Of course, that is a big thing. There's also the Guardian class revamp and Bearwarden class revamp. In this beta round, and I believe the second beta round, both the revamps were a little bit more complete state. They were very unfinished from what I remember in the first beta round. And we also have a little preview of the upcoming crafting revamp that we should see parts of in update 37, and I believe as well update 38. But the main thing here is going to be a Forester event, which is a crafting event. They're going to add a series of crafting events. The first one they just happen to have here, and the beta at least, is for Forester Profession. So there's a whole lot going on here. I know there's tons and tons and tons of discussion going on in this thread, including with the developers that are working on this. So if you're interested in that, I could recommend reading through this, but it's going to be a long read. And as they have commented on, it gets a lot into the crafting revamp, even though this is just an event and not necessarily what the full crafting revamp will look like. Either way, at a baseline level, I definitely think it's exciting to have crafting events, and we'll be excited to check that out and see what they have for the full update 37. And we already covered the LOTRO Store, which is actually coming in this update 36.2, but there's also going to be the new Hobbit housing, which is Lindleby, which is of course in support of the new River Hobbits race, which is coming. And in my experience, the River Hobbits are, I would basically describe them as looking like teenage humans, and actually at the point in beta round 2 at least, all the animations for River Hobbits were actually human race of man animations. They just didn't have the River Hobbit animations in game yet, so we should hopefully be seeing those soon, perhaps even in this third round of beta. But that is something to look forward to, and I'll definitely create a video dedicated to the River Hobbits, maybe when they're in a relatively more finished state. Also, interestingly, at least as of the second round of beta, you could actually make like a Runekeeper River Hobbit, even though their intention was not to include that as a final class for the River Hobbit, and there might be some other classes available that they won't necessarily be able to be in the full release if you have seen that. And again, if you have seen River Hobbit Runekeeper animations, they are actually just Race of Man animations. So outside of all that, I think one important thing to point out is we are seeing a little preview of the upcoming Lore Master revamp. In particular, I think the big focus right now is going to be on the pet damage being increased, and I have, say, secondhand experience watching somebody play Lore Master and seeing their pets are pretty strong now, which is really great to see. So while we thought the Lore Master revamp would not really be ready for update 37, at least having the pets buffed in update 37 would be very welcome to me. Again, I will have a full video on the beta, and I will probably stream it at some point in the near future after this video, but I did want to go ahead and give a preview for people that maybe haven't been too up to date on what is going on with the beta. Anyway, that is all I have for this video, again focusing on update 36.2 and the 23-hour maintenance. We'll see if this video is up or LOTRO is up first. In the meantime, I have a lot of catching up to do, and I'm looking forward to diving more into update 37. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching everyone.